This is the best part because we're live. Yay. Hello, beautiful humans. Welcome to Teach Gen Warp. I'm very excited about this because I first learned of Warp almost a year ago and haven't touched it since. Thanks to Elvis, I found out about it in an ice bar. But we have people from Warp, not from Warp, and just friends of Warp. I will go with. So, Vincent, I'm going to pick on you first. Please introduce yourself, and I'll say, what are we doing today? You get that question too.
Okay, great. So here's what it is. I'm a DevRel at Trunk. I want to film beautiful terminals. I looked on the internet, and then I realized, hey, I know some people at Warp. Warp makes cool terminals. They would make my videos look better. I'm gonna make them go on stream and teach me how to use Warp because I don't like reading documentation. That's my introduction.
That is a great way of saying that because I don't like reading documentation either.
Even though I
Hong Yu, do
write
you want to
docs.
go?
Yeah, sure. Well, thanks, Jen, for having me, and thanks, Jen, for doing this whole live stream about Warp. I'm super excited to show you Warp. So for a bit of context, I just joined the Warp team a couple of months ago, but I interned there previously in the past, and our team is building this like brand new modern terminal, and I'd love to show it to you guys. It's got a lot of like cool editing features, a lot of AI features, and collaborative features as well. So a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline in the next couple of months. I think this is just a great opportunity to like help you get set up, try out some of these cool features, and we'll see where it goes.
Yay. Elvis, do you want to say hi?
Yeah. Hey everyone, I'm Elvis. I'm a developer advocate, and I used to work at Warp. And I really love the terminal, and I actually dropped out of college to join them, so that was fun.
Yeah.
And a bit more of Elvis and I were at reInvent, and a friend joined us at an ice bar that the company I worked for was hosting, and Elvis was like legit pulled out his laptop and showed us Warp, and I was like, this is so cool and seems very easy to use, and then life happens. So this has been a year in the making. So random question that I would love. I don't know if Warp does, but something Vincent mentioned that made me think of it. Does it do recording, like recording the code and recording the execution in like a video?
It does not right now. I guess we've had like feature requests to do like a streamer mode or like a presenter type of mode, but we don't have that in just yet.
Okay, cool. Sorry, that was like a curveball that I was like, oh yeah, I just learned how to do that, and Vincent was talking about that, so I wonder. But yes, and shout out to you, Erin Mikhail Staples, because she is a great connector and who connected Elvis and I. So yes, 100%. But Hong Yu, where do you want to start? Do you want to share your screen? Do you want to talk me through how to do stuff on my screen? What would be easiest for you?
I think maybe I can share my screen and showcase some of the features first, and then maybe afterwards we'll hop over to your screen and you can try like running Warp, trying to do some basic commands, and then like trying out some of our other features. How does that sound?
Cool. Your terminal is on stage.
Cool. Let me know if you can see and see everything properly. Everything loads.
Can you zoom or make it a little bit bigger, like the window itself too?
Oh yeah, for sure. Sorry, my screen is pretty big, so sometimes I forget. Cool. Yeah, can you see that?
Yeah. I can. Everyone else good?
Yep.
Okay, awesome. So this is Warp. Right out of the box, you see that this terminal, well, first of all, it's a terminal. It's a terminal emulator. We built it on Rust, so it's super fast. It renders off of the GPU and everything. And so compared to some of the other existing terminal emulators, it's like right up to par in terms of speed, if not faster. And the first thing that you'll notice inside Warp is like text output and like command output like looks a little bit different. And so with like the normal terminal, I'll just open up here on the side, like you see it's super basic. Whereas inside Warp, we have something called blocks. And so what this allows you to do is like, it groups these inputs and outputs, like the input commands as well as the outputs, so that like you can easily navigate them and you can do a lot of like different actions on them. And so this is going to be something we'll see later, but this is like one of the cruxes of like what makes Warp like unique compared to other like terminals. So let me just clear here. Oh, sorry. So yeah, so we have these blocks. We can like run commands like as you expect, like everything looks normal. But the cool thing about Warp is like immediately when I start typing, you see that there is a couple of things inside the input here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So first we have syntax highlighting. So like you're already seeing some like the auto completions, but like with every single part of the command, there's like different colors to highlight like the different syntaxes, and then we have like error underlining as well. So like if you're writing the wrong command or whatever, or you're getting like this exact syntax wrong, it's going to tell you like right away. And the cool thing is like if you hover over these, like it helps with like discovery. So it tells you exactly what like each of these like flags or arguments do. So like git status, for example, shows like the working tree status. So this is super cool. And something that I found out recently is that Git, the official description of Git is the stupid content tracker. And all of these things are from the Git man page. And so this is what Linus like called it when he first built it like over a weekend or something like that. So
quick question.
Yeah.
Does it know all of to do the autofill? Is it only doing autofill based on things that you've already done, like a browser, or is it pre-filled autofills?
So we have stuff like, so if you hit like tab, you can see all like the pre-filled ones. And so like here, like this helps a lot with completions. For instance, like if I wanted to like a git command, obviously there's a lot of different git commands you can do. And so I can just do tab and then I can like up and down arrow through them. Like maybe I'm looking to do like a git diff or something, and like it's already suggesting to me like head. And so like there's a couple of things I can do here. So yeah, like all of this comes right out of the box. Like I didn't install anything particular or add on anything to make this work. Like all of the completions just work right out of the box, and we add more and more over time as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and so the other cool stuff is like these things that you never really knew you wanted. Like for instance, like inside a normal terminal, I don't think you can like click around and like highlight stuff with your mouse, which is pretty different.
Well, I think everyone's wanted this.
Yeah,
like, right?
Like you can't navigate through this normal terminal with your mouse. I'm like aggressively clicking here, but nothing happens. And so you can highlight over stuff, like do a lot of like keyboard shortcuts and whatnot. The cool thing is like we also have like multi-line support. So I can do like multiple commands at once. Like if I want to do like a git add, git commit, like hello or something like that. And the cool thing is like there's also multi-cursor support. So like if you want to do stuff similar to how you would do multi-cursor stuff in VS Code, you can do like hello. Like obviously if you're like changing a lot of stuff, that might be helpful. But we're just trying to make like the input feel a bit more like modern. And I think the syntax highlighting here helps a lot as well. But that's just a really basic overview of our input line. And there's like so many other things I want to show you. But before I move on, do you have any questions about that?
No, this is great. I think there's a lot of things where I think developers have just accepted that the pain is a part of being a developer. And I certainly feel like the way the terminal behaves is one of those things. Like, I don't think anybody actually enjoys the default terminal experience.
Yeah.
But like just no one's bothered to like do something like this. No, I think it's super cool.
Yeah.
Can you show a search? Like, can you show them that you can like search between like a subset of blocks?
A subset of blocks?
So like if you run pwd again,
yeah,
and then you can like let's say click the bottom block and then the top one, and you can like search just in those two.
Really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's like super helpful.
I forgot the exact or like keyboard shortcuts to do that. Is it just Command F?
Yeah.
Or is it Elvis, do you know? But
yeah, that's it.
Okay.
You got it. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be able to search right through that. and I guess like while we're on the topics of blocks, like there's a lot of other things that I can show you. Let me see here. So for instance, like if I ran into like an error of some sort, one of the cool things about Warp, like obviously there's already like an error suggestion. Okay, so this is just like a bogus thing because I typed an error, but the cool thing is like if I wanted to show this to like my coworker, there's so many different actions here that I can do. Like if I wanted to copy this, right, let me just start like a new tab or something. So I have like Arc here open on the side, but
still using Arc.
I might
have killed it.
But like for instance, if I wanted to share this with like my coworkers, I can share. I can select like, do I want to share like the command and output, command output. You can show the prompt as well, and like error block. And so the cool thing is like if there are like API keys, secrets, whatever, I can also redact it. And so like it would turn it into like a bunch of stars.
That's pretty cool.
So I can create a link to this. And so like if someone else on my team wants to like open it up and stuff, they can view it inside like this link. And inside the link, they can store this somewhere. Like maybe like they can put this in like part of like a walkthrough guide or like a setup guide. Like if you encounter like an error like this, you can do something like that. Or you can just share this on Slack, whatever way like makes it easier. So that's just like one of like the sharing aspects. There's a lot of other stuff that I'll get to a bit later on, but I'll show you some of like the other block output right now as well. So let me just like clear this and do like some random commands. Oh yeah, like just a lot of like quality of life stuff. Like if you command click into stuff, you can open up folders. Not going to show that, but you can also copy like a bunch of stuff you can find within the block applications. There's this cool thing called like block filtering, where like if you imagine you have like this long running command or like something that's streaming a lot of output and you just want to filter for a certain thing, like you can filter for that specific thing. So what some people do on the team is like if they're writing debug stuff, they would put their name in it and then they would just filter for their name. Like if I had something like here and so then it would just show me like the lines where they're like debug logs or whatever. So a lot of really cool like small actions there. And I guess some other like cool stuff inside Warp, like it's fully customizable. And so I just opened up something called our command palette. And so like you can search through all the different things that you can customize or whatever. I think for the sake of this, I'll show like what it looks like if I customize my theme. So it comes right out of the box with like a lot of these like super cool themes. These are like mostly the ones that it comes with, but you can like very easily create your own theme. You can upload a background image, you'll suggest some colors for you and stuff like that. So let's say like I really like jellyfish, and so we'll demo a little bit in jellyfish. What else? You can also customize.
I was just about to ask, can you use your own background, like upload of your own photo?
Absolutely. Let me just
like
I don't have any images handy, but like let me see.
And Anthony joined the stream and was saying how much he loves Warp. And I specifically asked, and I'm curious if anybody else has some that is watching the stream of like what they love about Warp. And Anthony said it's the small things that come up, like being able to click and move the cursor is just like such a huge thing that you don't always realize how frustrating it can be not doing it.
I feel it's one of those things where like if you use Warp and then you try to go back, you're just like, this is disgusting. But like the other way around, you might not realize it as much.
That's fair. Yeah.
And there's a lot of like other things that you can customize inside Warp. So I'll open up our settings. So like I'll just go to like appearance, and so like I can sync it with like my OS themes. I can change like the window opacity as well. change like the blur. Oh, and the cool thing is like we can change the input position as well. So some people, like this is something that we heard a lot of feedback about, and our CEO actually built out this feature. And so by default, it's like your input is here in the bottom, like pretty standard. But you can do stuff like you can pin input to the top. And so what that allows you to do is like people think this improves like ergonomics and stuff. And so like maybe you don't want to like stare all the way down at like a big screen or something like that. So that helps. Let me see. You can also fully customize your prompt without going into like some type of file to customize it. So like, for instance, I can like drag some of these things into my prompt. That comes right out of the box.
Nice.
I can like remove some of these. Let's like save some of these changes. And so like you can see it updates this like automatically. Let me see what else. Oh yeah, there are like so many customization options. There's like compact mode where it gets rid of like some of the spacing. You can change all of like the text fonts. Like what if I wanted to, oh, I guess we don't have Comic Sans, but we have some that come out of the box, and like maybe I want to use like Monaco and make the font size like, let's say like 20 or 15.
You should be able to get Comic Sans if you do all available system fonts.
Oh.
I think it defaults to only showing monospace, but if you turn that on, Comic Sans.
I guess I'm using Comic Sans.
That's cursed.
Now.
There are so many customizations.
There's cursed. A lot of customizations.
I'm gonna do all my videos in Comic Sans now.
And there's like a lot of like small features, like if you want like a blinking cursor, or, like tab indicators and that sort of stuff. I completely forgot. Like you can have different tabs for different things, but you can also have different panes within the tab. And so I forgot the keyboard shortcut exactly, but I can right click. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I just thought of, I feel like this is a really important question, and this is a question for the audience as well. How do you exit Vim?
Lord. Here we
and
go
does
again.
Warp give you prompts to exit Vim?
Well, you can do like the straight up answer is like if you find yourself like stuck in like a Vim file or like a Vim process, like you can do :WQ. Or I guess I think :W as well.
Yeah.
I'm not a
:Q, I think.
Or
W is right.
But will Warp tell me how to exit it and give me hints on not rage quitting and throwing my computer?
Oh yeah, we actually have like, okay, so there's a couple of different ways for this. Let me just like clear this and change my font because this is a bit unbearable right now.
Yeah, get Warp to center div, exit Vim, all the usual spiel.
I feel like Vim, like to this day, like whenever I land in it somehow, I'm like, how did I even get here? And then exit out of it because I don't realize I'm in it. And then I get back to that spot. I'm like, oh, I just need to Google how to get around it. But yeah.
So I guess like one of the ways that I can show you how you can exit Vim is we have something in Warp called agent mode, which is like an LLM built right into like your terminal interface. And so there are a couple of ways that you can activate this. Like you can just start typing to your terminal in like plain English. Wait, let me enable that really quickly. Enable auto, natural, detection. Oh, I guess it's on. So like, let's say, how do I exit Vim? And so it's going to give me a couple of suggestions here. Like obviously this is not inside Vim, but I can like reference this. Like when I am inside Vim, I can do like :Q, Q bang, :WQ, whatever. And so this is great for like Q&A, but it's also great for like just big like features or stuff that you want to build, or like if you're confused about how to run like a certain command or how to figure out like what command to run, you can ask it like, hey, I want to set up a new like React. Let me make this React project. Help me with that. And so like not only will it give you like command suggestions that you can accept and stuff, but it can also like help you like figure out exactly like what is required for you to set it up. So for this one, like you can just run npx like react dev. Oh, sorry, let me just clear my terminal really quickly. It's a bit messy. But let me do that again, actually. Help me set up a new React project.
How did you get to that point again to bring up the, is that just like by default, if I ask it a question, then the AI comes on, or do I have to go to a certain spot to go to the AI friend?
Yeah. So like by default, if you just talk to your terminal in like plain English, it will just respond via like AI. Like we have this thing called like AI, like natural language auto detection. So if I'm trying to type out like command and stuff, it'll recognize that it's a command and it won't try to go into AI. But if I'm typing like plain English, like help me set up something, or like how do I, like once you see like the sparkles here, this is a sign that like it's listening to you for like AI stuff, or like it's going to interpret this as like an AI query. And so there's also an explicit way to do this. Like if you do command I inside the terminal, you can just automatically like enable that. And so, yeah, like the AI agent here was like going to start and actually like start creating this project and stuff. But it's really helpful when you like run into like potential like errors and stuff, and you can attach this as context into agent mode. Like what happened here? How do I fix this? It's not going to give me a great answer because it's just a random error, but yeah, that's basically like some of the cool stuff. And this is like a very, very like shallow use case of our AI. We have like some super cool stuff. Like if you just like search it up, we have like this whole demo video of how like our CEO or like some folks on our team like set up like these super complex like workflows, or they accomplish like these super interesting tasks, like changing like doing like a database migration or something like that. Fix this using like MVM, and I recommend checking that out. But yeah. Oh, I'll stop here because I just rambled on for a lot. Do you guys have any questions or anything you're curious about?
I'm just posting really quick on where we're streaming the links that we talked about, like the AI, agent mode. There we go. I'm like, I'm typing and trying to talk at the same time. This isn't going well, but I just put it in all the chats. So far, I feel like I'm following along pretty well. I could see this coming in handy as somebody that okay, two parts. I use VS Code for like everything and just use the terminal within VS Code. And VS Code can sync with GitHub. So like literally all you have to do is click a couple buttons and it does it all for you. But sometimes it gets stuck and you have to remember what your GitHub commands are. And I could see this being really handy when those type of moments come up, just for myself and going like, how do I git commit? I don't remember anymore because I never use it. And that could be something that's really a lot easier to be able, instead of having to search somewhere else for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like with that example that you just gave right now, like I just asked it and it gave me the right command. It gave me like just a brief description, but like you can type this in yourself and then like just hit enter or whatever. I guess there's like another way that you can do this. So we have something called, I believe it's called command search. And so this is a very powerful tool. This allows you to search through like your history, your workflows, notebooks, and other stuff. That I'll talk about workflows and notebooks and stuff later on.
How did you get that to come up? I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah. So you hit Control R to activate command search. And so what this allows you to do, like if I want to search for like undo last git or undo last git command. Oh, sorry.
I already know what I'm gonna use this for. I'm gonna use this to write set and grep commands and and have it write regular expressions for me.
Yeah, Warp does really well with like very like
archaic tools.
Yeah, like those types of things where people have done a lot of these stuff in the past and stuff. Yeah. So like if I want to undo git command, there's a lot of different ways to sort of do that. And I just asked it like inside this command search, but I can also search within my history. Like maybe like I want to see all of the different types of LSs that I ran.
Yeah.
Or if I want to search like all of the different commits or whatever, or like curl commands that I've ran in the past. That's a really easy way of searching beyond just like infinitely scrolling up on like your history.
So. How much of like what you've run in the past and its output does it keep around?
I'm not sure actually. I think it keeps it like indefinitely. But Elvis, do you happen to know?
What's the question? It's how many commands you can run?
Or it's just like how long like history does like Warp keep of like your previous commands?
Of your block history?
Yeah.
It's unlimited, but it's kept in memory.
Yeah. So
yeah, so your memory consumption gets pretty high.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah. So I command K a lot to clear all of them.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it stores it in some type of file. And I think that's based on your shell. And so that I guess is stored like indefinitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think those are some of the main features. There's also like a completely other set of features called Warp Drive. And so I'll just demo this like really quickly, but this is basically like if you imagine you have like a Google Drive inside your terminal, or if you have like a Notion or some type of like knowledge base inside your terminal, and you want to be able to like share this with like team members and something like that. So for instance, like if there are commands that I run really often, this is a funny example, but like, I just have like a git YOLO workflow. And so like you can obviously like add like your own workflows and stuff. And these can be just like commonly ran commands, like maybe stuff you don't want to remember each time, like hide all desktop icons. There's some like starter ones to get you started. But this is really useful when there's just like these super long commands that have like many different flags and arguments and whatever. And you just want to be able to run it super quickly. And the cool thing is like, if I wanted to like find these super quickly, I can just search like git YOLO or like git, I think it's workflows git YOLO. And I can get YOLO pretty fast.
I have the exact same alias. It's called git vomit. I love doing this kind of stuff.
Nice. And then something else that I want to show is these things called notebooks. And so notebooks are like markdown files, but inside your terminal. And so this can be super handy when you are like onboarding onto like a new project, or like if you have team members that have like very complex processes and stuff that they want you to do, or like specific set of commands that they want you to run. So you can write like any sort of documentation inside here. Like you can even like bold stuff. It works just like a like Notion page or like a markdown file or something like that. And the cool thing is like you can just run these commands like directly into the terminal.
Oh yeah.
Can you access or view those from mobile?
Oh, so this is something that we're actually working on and will be released soon.
Yay.
But we're basically
because I was just looking on my phone. I was like, oh, I can see using that. But if I think of something when I'm out, I'd want to be able to like update it from my phone.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil anything, but we have some really cool releases
TBD.
coming in the next, like, I want to say month or so, where you're basically able to accomplish all of that. So a lot of really cool, exciting stuff where you can share this, you can view it on like other devices and that sort of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that.
I like it. I like it.
But yeah, like I'm just like in like a growth team here, but you can create your own team and you can share these things with other people. And so if you have very like commonly ran commands and stuff that you want to share, that's super helpful. Documentation you want to share, and yeah, that's basically just of like Warp Drive. You can also search for notebooks like inside here, and it'll just open it up. You can link out to external stuff. But yeah, I think that's the gist of Warp. Elvis, did you have anything else that you think I missed or anything that I should demo?
Yeah, Control R.
Control R, yeah.
Yeah. Did you show them that you like save the like the Git branch and like the standard out exit code and stuff?
Oh yeah. So like if I do,
maybe you can just run a new Git command real quick and then see what happens.
Let me go somewhere where there is a Git command. Oh. Sorry, give me 1 second. Okay. Okay, so I have like a branch here that I was working on earlier today. But if I do like a git status, yeah, so like it shows me like I just recently ran this git status. Like if I'm hovering over it, it shows like exit code 0 ran successfully. I'm on this certain branch called this. Nice. How long it took, when did I last run it, what's the directory that I ran it inside, and so that's pretty cool. Yeah, so like if you want to just like get really specific on your history, that's super helpful. Something else that just came to mind is like this thing called like split panes, and so like you can have multiple ways of splitting this. So like imagine if I want to look like a super hacker, I can just like do a bunch of stuff and different stuff and like monitor a bunch of things at once, or like
you can also maximize the pane with the key binding.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so that's pretty helpful. That way you can quickly make it big and have it be focused.
Yeah. I'm gonna change my thing because I don't want to be jellyfish anymore. Nice. But what else? What else?
Can you build extensions? Like, do people build like widgets of sorts for Warp?
There isn't any like extensibility off of Warp right now. We don't have like a public API or like SDK or whatever. But we should work with like most like plugins and stuff. So a lot of people use this thing called like OMIZSH to customize their prompt and like some other stuff. That completely works fine inside Warp. There's a bunch of other plugins that people like, especially like NeoVim and whatever, or like Fuzzy Finder, some other examples. So they all work inside Warp, just like the normal terminal. But as of right now, you can't build like additional features on top of Warp. But something that we hear a lot from users, and we're definitely gonna address that at some point.
Cool.
I feel like a very important question that we need to make sure people know is, how do they make this their default terminal?
Oh, let me see.
Because I feel like that is going to be like the most important walkaway, is like if they need a terminal and this is like the default for the computer.
This is a great opportunity to look on our docs site because I don't remember this off the top of my head.
Oh, you're also using Gitbooks. Oh no, you fell for it.
Fell for it.
Elvis, do you remember this, or do you remember how to do this? I know there's a way to do this. at some point. Oh, maybe like migrate to warp.
I just do it from the Finder. If I have like a shell file, I'll just do like get info and then change all.
Yeah, that's fair. Let me think.
Me.
I don't know.
I mean, worst case, it's something we can share afterwards, but it's definitely something that if we're seeing all this cool warp stuff, like we need to make it default.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great point. Let me get back to you on that.
Fair enough.
I think
so I would
do this. Yeah.
Follow-up question. Why
Yeah.
would somebody, I mean, I've seen a lot of reasons why, but in a summary, why would somebody use warp instead of the terminal in VS Code?
Yeah. So I guess if you want additional features on top of your terminal, if you want to be able to interact with the input and output a lot better, if you want AI built directly inside your terminal, and if you want to be able to like dig deeper into your commands, like click around in things, have a much richer typing experience and like text editing experience, and be able to collaborate with others as well, I think Warp is definitely the best terminal out there for that. And the cool thing about like VS Code is like there's a way to set it up so that you have like a key binding. So like I think every time you want to open up your terminal in VS Code, it can open up Warp instead. So I think this like GIF here walks you through how to do it. I guess this is also like making Warp your default terminal. But I think what that does is like if you hit a certain like key binding to open up the terminal inside VS Code, it just whips open Warp instead.
Nice.
But
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think we're also exploring the idea next year of being able to like extend upon the VS Code terminal. So like embed Warp into your VS Code or have some sort of version of that. So
that would be so cool.
It's definitely something we're working on, but yeah, something just to keep in mind.
Yay. I don't know what else to ask because I'm just like, this is so cool and I want to go try it, especially the AI stuff. And it's not because it's like, oh my gosh, AI is the coolest thing ever. It's because this is stuff that I've gotten stuck on some of this stuff before that at least I don't have to go try to use it in like Claude or ChatGPT to then go back to my terminal. It'll just save time because trying to remember commands that I'm like, dude, I don't remember. And being able to use it right there, I'm like, this is going to be great.
Yeah. The best part about Warp is that because it's an AI inside your terminal, it already has context into like what type of stuff that you're trying to do or like what directory you're in and all these other things. And so we fine tune like the prompt a lot and like the experience so that like whenever you use an AI, it should be very catered towards like your specific error or your specific like use case or something like that. Obviously I was just like walking through like a bunch of very simple examples, but when you're actually working in like a production environment or like you're actually developing or coding and stuff, you run into a lot of these like very intricate bugs and stuff where like you're trying to do these like grep commands or write these like regexes or whatever. And I think that's where Warp can really shine, where like instead of like Stack Overflowing or going to like the documentation of a certain tool, you can just directly like ask inside your terminal and it'll give you like generally a pretty good response.
Yeah. What model is it running? Is it local or is it like?
It's not local because I think if we do a local model, it's gonna make like the app like a really big size, like when you download it and stuff. So it's currently using OpenAI's models, but we're also going to be soon like giving an option or like letting people choose between like other models as well, like Claude or whatever. But
is there a usage limit?
What's that?
Is there a usage limit?
There is a so yeah, there is like pricing with Warp, but like with like the individual pro user, let me see if I can. So Warp by default will be free for all individuals, and you can get up to 100 AI requests per month with it. We have some other tiers for like teams and enterprise and stuff that gives you a lot more AI requests and some additional features. But inside like the normal Warp, I recommend you just to try it out. I think 100 AI requests is like very sufficient for a lot of people, just like get their daily work done and stuff. And you can have a bunch of like these workflows and stuff. So yeah, like there is a limit, but I think it's pretty generous. But I encourage people to try it out in usage. Yeah.
I just posted again for everywhere for the website to go check it out and download it. It was super easy to download in case we have people that are like, I don't know. I don't know why people would be like worried about downloading it because it's super cool and it's well known. But it was easy to download and install and set up. The first thing it asked me was if I wanted to change my theme.
Yeah.
So it was like I could change it from the very beginning. And just seeing like being able to see the history of a Git, I thought that was really cool. And then also being able to click around with it again, like I'm excited to use projects that I have and check errors with it. Like I think that's going to be a really cool feature. So
Yeah,
but
I
I
think
think I'm out of questions. So Vincent, do you have any more questions, or Elvis, is there something else we need to ask?
I'm waiting for the day where I can run the models with Olema or something locally and plug it into Warp.
One day.
One day.
Olema still works inside Warp and everything. So if that's something that you prefer, I'd still recommend just like checking it out.
Yeah. No, it's so fun. I think the models today are great, but like model human interfaces are still insufficient in most senses. And I'm really excited whenever like there's actually meaningful integration with like with a model and whatever dev tool you're using, because usually it's just a really dumb chat bot, and I'm just looking at him like I don't want to talk to this thing, but this seems pretty organic.
Yeah.
Anthony said brain to model interface coming soon.
Maybe not that deep.
Yeah, I guess like if you guys use any like voice AI tools, I know there's one called like Whisper or something like that, where you can just like talk to your computer and it'll type it out for you or whatever. That also works with Warp. I don't have it installed right now, but I know some people on our team prefer like talking to it, which is pretty crazy. Like imagine saying like git status dash whatever. But yeah, that also works.
I would another curiosity, how does it work for text to speech? Like, is it pretty easy? Does it have a feature within itself, or is it something that you have to use the computers?
I don't think we currently have a text to speech feature. I'm not sure how it interacts with the computer, but that's definitely one of our goals, to make Warp a bit more accessible. And so that's definitely a pain point and feedback, and we're actively working on improving that. So I don't think we have something right now. It might work if you have like certain apps and stuff that does like text to speech, but I can't tell you exactly.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
your Mac's built-in like accessibility features work a lot better in Warp than in other terminals. And I think the goal is to like embed this into the GUI framework itself. That way, once that's released, other people have it for free as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's something that I could see myself using quite a bit, but just the at the beginning you showed like the errors and it giving you the squiggly lines when something's wrong, but actually telling you why a lot more clearly than other terminals can.
Yeah.
I'm very dyslexic, so that's why I'm asking about the text to speech. But that's something that I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like that's something that I could see myself using more on as another feature, just for the squigglies when something's wrong.
Yeah.
The squigglies.
We got squigglies like that was actually like an intern project from someone, like to work on those error underlining and syntax highlighting. We also have like these command corrections, so like if you're just like off by a little bit, it'll just like if I did get status wrong, it'll just like tell me like, oh, did you mean this instead? So for folks that may be dyslexic or just might make, or like people that make typos or whatever, I think that's a pretty cool feature as well.
Yeah. Is it time to challenge Jen to try agent mode and see if she can send her a div?
Yeah, let's do it.
No.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, I guess I can. Wait, hold on. I just had to open VS Code and now I have to clear it. So just a sec. Okay, it's on something. Well, I'll share my screen. Hold please. This is not warp. We're gonna exit out of it. What do you want me to do?
I don't know. Create an empty React app or whatever you're comfortable with and center a div. Like all that Hungy guide you through how how Asian mode works and everything.
Let me also make this bigger. There.
Can Warp edit files for you?
Not right now,
okay,
but we're working on that, so soon.
Great.
Ooh, okay. And if I click this button,
you can
run
also
it in the terminal
to like accept it.
Look at that, y'all. We made
something's happening here.
It made the React app. It's installing it. This is exciting. And that was pretty easy.
I wonder if you can get Warp to I wonder if you can get Warp to like pipe a new div into like a React file or into like an HTML file.
I think we can try that and see what happens.
Yeah, just do it entirely in Warp. I feel like it's possible. Get it to write.
Well, we might be here for a minute with installing.
we have another 2 minutes to burn before I have to hop. So
right.
The best way to learn a new tool is to center a div.
Happy hacking. Oh, and it gives you all ideas. Oh, is this from Warp or is this from? No, that's from Warp.
This is from React.
This is from React.
Oh, that's from React. Okay.
Yeah.
Clearly, I've been doing all Astro stuff lately, and also doing Vue stuff. So I'm like, I don't remember my React app.
Astro does a really fantastic job with their command line prompts. It's really great.
It's been fun. I'm very proud of my new website. What do you want me to ask it? Sorry, I was like,
let's see, like you can start it up, or like you can ask agent mode, like, how do I start this React app? Okay.
Yay! And all I did was hit tab, and it worked. Allow, and yay! We did it. I am curious. So here, let me do this and do this. I'm curious what it can do with. Can you edit the? I'm just curious what it would do.
I'm curious to see what happens here as well.
Yeah.
To say hello, beautiful humans. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, it does grab.
Enter to run. Enter. Go do the thing.
There's hot reloading, right? So we should.
Oh, so it wants to read the output of app.js to see what's in the file.
Okay.
Oh, that's I'm very impressed with how this model is tuned.
Okay, so it looks like there's some sed command here. Maybe if you just tab complete it and see what happens.
All right, and
then maybe just start up. Yeah.
It did it.
Wow, it did it. Yeah, let's go.
There you go. That is a reason to use Warp. Like, you didn't have to go I did not need to know anything.
Yeah.
I'm very, very impressed with the tuning on this model.
We got a React app and we were able to change the message without actually going into it. I think that is very impressive.
And we're only going to get even better from here on out. Like we're building additional like coding functionality. So there's going to be some interesting stuff in the new year to look forward to. So it can do even more complex like code changes. But
I'm excited to check it out more. I feel like I might be like y'all have to come on the show again in like a few months after more updates have come and we can test it all out. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
anything else we should test before we end the stream?
I have one last question. How do I go complain about the fact that I can't save a block as a screenshot or like save a replay as a GIF or something? Like it's just.
Yeah. Well, we have a GitHub issues page here.
Great.
Share my screen again.
Link it to us. I'm gonna go complain. Write a few issues.
Okay, so we do have a GitHub issues page. For context, this is the warp.dev repo. We're not open source yet, but we have
stuff. That's a big spoiler.
Working on stuff in the future, and so these are our like GitHub issues. Like we have build warp for Windows, which we're working on. Support for REPLs. There's like 2,000 issues open, or like a lot of like feature requests that people want to see. So we have a very active community here, and people are very passionate about certain features.
Yeah.
So we're working through them.
Can I slip you like a bribe under the table for you to prioritize certain features? Like, is that a?
Maybe not me, but maybe someone else on my team. But
okay.
Yeah, maybe.
I'd love to be introduced.
Yeah. But if there are any things that you want to see, like chances are someone has already like commented some version of it. So definitely check us out there. And yeah, if you have any feedback, you can reach out to me as well.
Very cool. And I'm going to click the raid on Twitch because it's always fun to raid on Twitch. But yes, please reach out to Hong Yi or the Warp team. They're on all the social medias, or send your questions my way and I will funnel them to the right direction. So yay. And thank you all. And I'm going to hit and stream. Yay.